Here's a review of the Glock field knife. This is a 78 model, and so it's got the plane on the back. There's nothing on the back of the blade. This is actually a reasonably sized knife. It's 11 inches overall, as you can see here, and it's just a great knife. Let's start off with the sheath first. The sheath is polymer, the same kind of polymer they put on their guns, and it's just a really simple sheath. It doesn't weigh anything. It's super light. It's got a belt loop right here, which opens up by pulling it apart, like so, and it's very secure on the belt. It's got a lanyard hole right here, a drain hole on the bottom, and here is the lock right here. And the lock, I've heard people talk about how hard it is to get off. It's really not hard to unlock the blade. If you have it, just out like this, you can go like that on it, just lift up on it a little bit. Or if you have it on your belt, you can go over here on the side and just lift up on it, just like that. I will say that I think over the years this will get worn off, but as of right now, it's still going pretty good. Now, as far as the knife goes, it's a great knife. 11 inches long, 6-inch blade, which is a really good knife. This is actually designed to be a bayonet style or a fighting knife, but I use it as, a travel knife. After testing it out for the last couple of days. It's not full tang, which some people might think it's a garbage knife. It's not a garbage knife. I use this knife pretty hard, and it's still good. There's not at all any kind of play in the handle, and the tang ends right about here. So this is a really heavy-duty knife. It's a spring steel, which is really good steel. I would compare it to 295 if I were going to compare it, because it's got about the same amount of edge retention as that. The edges don't roll whenever you hit something hard like a rock, and it's easy to sharpen. Actually, it's a little bit easier to sharpen than 295. So I don't know about that. The tip did get broken off on one of my spear throwing incidents, which you can't really see, but the tip actually did get broken off, and so I had to sharpen a new tip using a stone, but no big deal. And it's also bent a little bit on the tip. It bends right about here out a little bit. The guard is welded on to the blade itself. As I mentioned before, the tang does actually end right about here. The end cap comes off, although when you first get this knife, it's a pain in the butt to get off. But once you do, you can modify it, make it easier to get off, like I did. I took a Dremel tool and cut 2 slits out, so it's easier to get in and out. And as far as the end goes, it's got a metal kind of pocket which you can put stuff in, as well as 2 lanyard holes if you want to do that. Now, I don't recommend doing what I did in my last video, where I turned it into a spear, because that's not a good idea. Don't go doing that. Because it sucks as a spear, because you could lose it, you could break the tip off like I did, and yeah. But overall, this is a really good knife. Even though I did damage the tip and bend it, I don't care. I'm still going to use this knife just as hard.